Hello everybody. Today we'll discuss about one of the important function that we are using in Python. That is the input function. Now, to understand the input function, let us run the idle editor. That is in my system. You can see my Python is that is 3.11.0, and just I have opened the idle cell of 3.11.0 Python version. So for executing a small program to understand the need of input function and the nature of input function, let us create a new file. Just you can see I have just opened a new file here, and right now the file is completely blank, and it has no name, that is an untitled file. Now let us write one small code in the file and save it, and then we will run the program to understand how input function behaves in Python. As you know that Python is an interpreted language, and whenever we are writing any statement in the Python programming, and we want to execute that particular statement, the fashion of execution is always line by line. That means instead of taking the total block of the code as a whole, Python takes the lines present in the particular programming one by one. That is, they all are the independent lines, all are the independent lines of codes, and they are executed very independently. Okay, that means in compiled version of the programming, we take the total code as a whole, but in case of Python, we are taking the code in the form of line by line fashion because it is an interpreted language. Remember this line. Now, as you know that input is a function, the need of input function is to take the value from the user. That means the fashion of writing the input function is like this: input bracket. So this is the input function. Now, as I said, input function always wait for the user to give some value from the input output console. So as user need to give some value, so input function always return a value. Whenever a function returns a value, we need a variable to store that particular value. So for that, we need to write some variable. Let's say variable 0 equals to input. So what this particular line do? So this particular line ask the user to enter some value. Once the value is entered by the user, now that value will be stored in the variable 0. Another thing we can do, if we want to display something in the input output console before taking the value from the user, that you can write here like this: please enter your name. Now what this particular line will do, now whenever this particular line will do, will be executed, first it will execute the input function, because you can see here this is the assignment operator, and this variable 0 is the left hand side, and this input function with this particular content written in the right hand side. So the linking in the assignment operator is always from right to left. Okay, that means first the right hand side of the assignment operator will get executed. Once the execution is completed, whatever value the function will return, that value will be stored in the variable 0. So that is the nature of assignment operator. And to understand the nature of input function, we need to understand how the input function get executed. So let's say this is a simple line and I want to execute this line So I need to go to the run option, and here we have a run module option. So if I will click on run module, so it will ask to save the file first. So let us save it with some name. Uh, that is my folder and I am just saving it here. Let's say input. Okay, input is my file name, and Python file, the nature of the file or the type of the file is Python. Let us save in our directory. Yes. Now as I saved the particular program with input, now this program get executed. And as I said, it will display the content in the input function. And after that, the cursor is blinking here, means it is asking some value to be entered by the user. Let's say I'm writing Dr. Alok here, and I am pressing the enter button. Now, as I do not have any more lines of code in my program, so there is nothing to display. Okay, so let us add some more line in the program. Let's write print. Now, print is a function. It is an output function. The best part of your idle editor is it will just guide you how to write the content in that particular function print. So as per your requirements, you can write the content inside the print function. Now my requirement is to display the content that has been entered by the user. So for that, what I will do, I will simply write, start with the double quotation mark, the name entered is, let's write some colon here, then end this, then write the comma, then the name of the variable 0 here I have used. So no need to write any semicolon like in C programming or any C++ or any programming. No need to write any semicolon. Simply leave the line without any semicolon. Just close the bracket because it is a function. Okay. So let us run it to understand the nature of your input function. Run. Before that, it will ask to save. Okay, we have saved. Now again it is asking to enter the value. So again I am asking, again I am giving the value Dr. Alok. Okay, now I am entering the value Dr. Alok. Now after entering the value Dr. Alok here, now the second lines of code, the second line in the code is get executed, and the output is coming in the form of the name entered is Dr. Alok. Now this Dr. Alok has been taken from the variable 0. Okay, that is the variable 0. Here I have written here variable 0, and this particular content is the dummy content displayed because it is the print function. So whatever thing we'll write in the double quotation mark, that will be displayed here. Now to understand the nature of input function. Now to understand the nature of input function, we need to print the type of data the input function is accepting from the user. So for that, let us write print inside bracket type inside bracket variable 0. So let us see what is the nature of input function. Now we will execute this or the run this module. So let us save it. Okay. So it is again asking the value, that is we need to enter the value. Let's say Dr. Alok. Now just see the name entered is Dr. Alok. We understood these two lines. Now in this third line, we can see it is written class str. Now str means is the string type. That means we are very much clear that so we can write some comment line here. The default type of input function is string. In short, it is called str. Okay, so this is very important to know the default data type or the default value or the default type of the value entered by the user through the input function is always a string type. But it is not that we cannot change the type of the value entered by the user. So for that, we have another option that is called typecasting. So how to do typecasting here? So we can do typecasting simply. Let's say I'm going with another statement. Let's say variable one equals to integer inside bracket input inside bracket. Please enter your age. So let me close the bracket. Again, another bracket need to be closed. Now just see here. This is another statement need to be interpreted. Okay, before execution. Okay, now let us copy this. Okay, Control C and paste it here. Control V and simply change the variable name, that is variable one. Now you can see here I have just copied the statement, the above statement, that is print then type variable 0, and just simply I made variable 0 here a variable 1 because I'm using the variable 1 here to understand the typecasting. Now this is called typecasting. Okay, now let me execute the code. Then run module, save it. Okay, again start with the beginning. Enter the name Dr. Alok, then pressing the enter button. The name enter is Dr. Alok, absolutely fine. The type of data Dr. Alok is, as we know that default type is string, so it is telling class string. Now it is asking the age. Let's say I'm writing 34. Now pressing the enter button. Now just see, both the cases we are using the input function, but in the second case it is showing 34 is a integer value, but Dr. Alok is a string value, because this part we made the typecasting, because we know that the default value or the default type of the value stored through the input function is always a string, but we can just typecast it. Now this is the typecasting method. This is the desired type and this is the default type. Now default type for this is the string, and we have converted string to integer before storing the value in the variable one. Hence, whenever we'll check the type of variable one by using the type keyword, simply it will return the type of the variable one after typecasting, that is integer. So this is the way you can use the input function in the program, and simply you can know the type of the value that has been stored in a variable through the input function. And in third case, you can also typecast the data entered by the user into your desired type by using this typecasting statement, and then later you can print the variable or print the value present in the variable. You can also print as well as the type of the variable which is holding the data. You can also print this. Also you can write a print statement like this: print the variable 0 comma variable 1 in a combined fashion. So just see the output here. Let's save it. Okay, And now let me write here Dr. Book. Okay, now it is string. Now that is 34. Enter. Okay, it's telling what is the error. The most written call last. Print variable 0, variable 1. Did you mean variable 1? 0. Name error. Variable 1 is not defined. Let me check whether variable 1 spelling is correct or incorrect. Variable. Oh, I missed the A. Okay, now it is okay. Let's see. Okay, now let me write Dr. Look here. Now 34, then Dr. Alok 34. Now this is the output of the variable 0, and this is the output of variable 1. That means here you can see whenever you are executing the print function. Now print function is evaluated from left to right. Means first the content present in the variable 0 get executed and displayed on screen. Then variable the content of the variable 1 get executed and displayed on screen. Now this is about the use of input function and the use of type keyword and how to make typecasting after using the input function in this simple program. Thanks for watching.